Hello again. We're back with another Spotykach tutorial, as today we're looking at how the onboard effects can help us transform our loops. If you're following along with your own unit, be sure to take a look at the prior videos where we looked at the basics of looping and the 3 deck modes. Let's get a loop going and dive right in. Each of Spotykach's 2 decks has its own set of flux and grit pads, with flux being a tape delay and grit adding distortion or bit crushing. As you can see, just touch the grit or flux pads and you'll hear the effect. You can also latch them by pressing either of the Alt pads while turning the effect on. Now they'll stay on until I press Alt and the pad again to unlatch them. They also each have a few extra parameters for added control, which can be accessed while holding their respective pads. For example, while I'm touching the flux pad, it and the main deck ring turn pink. Now the pitch knob lets me adjust the delay speed. Let's play with it a bit. Next, I can crank the feedback via the position knob until the repeats start to run away. Then, blend it all in with the mix knob. So, while holding the flux pad, you've got control over delay speed, feedback, and mix to fine-tune the overall tape delay. As for grit, you'll first want to select the type of grit you'd like. Hold the pad and press the tap button, and it changes between distortion, which is yellow, or bit crusher, which is orange. In both modes, you can adjust the mix by holding the grit pad and turning the mix knob, just like the delay. The function of the main pitch knob changes depending on the grit mode. In the yellow distortion mode, it ranges from soft saturation to overt distortion. In the orange bit crusher, it moves between soft signal degradation and harsh lo-fi clipping. You may have noticed part of the ring sometimes lights up red. That's Spotykach's knob catch-up system for cases where there are multiple parameters controlled by the same knob, like when you're holding a specific pad. It shows where the control had been set to previously, and means you'll have to turn the knob to clear that section before you'll hear any changes, like this. This way, you don't end up with controls jumping around abruptly. Okay, so now we've got our delay and distortion. It goes without saying that you can use them both separately or together. Latch one, leave one momentary, latch them both, and adjust parameters on the fly. Also worth noting, the 2 decks have totally independent grit and flux effects. So one side can be set to a shorter echo, while the other side, it has a longer delay, for example. I've got the same loop in both of these decks just to illustrate this better. Here's distortion on one side, bit crusher on the other. The touchpads also make it easy to get creative with the effects too. For example, I like to play the pads to bang out rhythms. Let's pitch up our loop a little bit. None of this is destructive or saved with the loop, so play around. If you end up liking how an effect has transformed your loop, you can always capture it by resampling it to the other deck by pressing Alt plus reverse. There. Now you have a version with the effects baked in that you can save to your SD card to call back later. Combine this with reverse playback and pitch shifting, and you've got some fun ways of changing the sound of your recorded loops. Of course, this is to say nothing of the patch points and modulation options all over the faceplate, which we'll explore in a future video. But in the meantime, I'll be enjoying some gritty runaway echoes.